Prime Minister Modi, who visited Italy to attend the outreach session of the G7 summit and held bilateral meetings with the world leaders. During his day-long visit, the Prime Minister participated in the summit. These are various sessions on artificial intelligence, energy and Africa, Mediterranean. The event was hosted by Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and included the participation of Pope Francis himself. At the G7 summit, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi engaged in discussions with French President Emmanuel Macron, focusing on key aspects of the strategic partnership between France and President Macron also expressed enthusiasm about the momentum observed in the bilateral relations, highlighting the collaborative efforts across various fields, including energy, defense, research and culture. The Prime Minister once again highlighted concerns and priorities of the global South countries at the G7 outreach even on Friday. Addressing the gathering, the Prime Minister stated that India has considered it its own responsibility to put the priorities and concerns of countries of global South on world stage. He also asserted that India is amongst the first few countries to formulate a national strategy in artificial intelligence. During the G20 summit hosted by India last year, we emphasized the importance of international governance in the field of AI. Viewers, days after taking oath for a third historic term, the Prime Minister once again represented India on global stage. Bonhomie and diplomacy took center stage at the 50th G7 summit, which was hosted by Italy. However, it's Indian tradition that has truly taken the spotlight this high-profile event. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni greeted the prominent world leaders using the traditional hand greeting, that's the Namaste, adding a unique cultural touch to the proceedings. All right, viewers, we are now shifting our focus before we shift our focus, we'll be joined by Shivani, who's live with us on this big story. Shivani, obviously, as far as the G7 is concerned, the Prime Minister has ensured that it's a big hit. That outreach session for which the Prime Minister was invited saw him greeting world leaders, bonhomie, friendship, even romance on display. Take us through really the key highlights of G7 and what it means really when we speak about India's position in the world today.
See, G7 summit hosted by Italy has once again ensured that India remains a very strong voice of the global South, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is leading to represent India as one of the most powerful nations of the global South. And in the G7 summit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with 11 leaders from prominent countries of the world, discussed upon energy and how the inclusivity of technology should be maintained. Not only few countries should have the monopoly over artificial intelligence and technology, but it should be for everyone to grow. And we saw how Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Italy, the event that was hosted by Giorgia Meloni, she greeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi with a warm hand-folded namaste, a warm gesture there, showing the respect these world leaders show for Prime Minister Narendra Modi and India. And here he also met a number of leaders of the prominent nations, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He also met Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and you know, it's very important if we see it diplomatically. And France also, French leaders also met, and Pope Francis also met Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Rishi Sunak was also there. So several meetings, the bilaterals that were held on the sidelines of this G7 summit also showcased how India is moving forward in terms of diplomacy and relations with these countries, including Canada, France, Italy, and other nations, UK for that matter. So this has been a big event, big summit. It was an action-packed day where Prime Minister Narendra Modi exchanged ideas and his views on the development of energy and also breaking the monopoly of certain nations over technology.
Well, absolutely, and this was extremely significant, and all the gestures, Melanie herself doing a namaste to the Prime Minister, and all of that obviously extremely significant when we speak of even India's soft power.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.